Hey everybody, it's me, Ronan, with another video. Happy Saturday to the few of you that might actually watch this today on Saturday or on another Saturday at some point in the future. I have some free time and felt yet again compelled to make a video. I don't have tea this time. I should have prepared. I'm incredibly braless, if you couldn't tell. I am a mother. So yeah, I wanted to talk about things. A couple things had come up in the past, 24 hours. I guess the first thing was I've been doing a lot of the work, the inner work, the healing, the trauma release, the shame release, coming into my own sort of through therapy and in all this kind of ascension 5D journey for those of you that are also doing that and maybe watching it for that reason. And, I've been trying to, I guess I wouldn't say intentionally make amends, but there have been a few people that kind of in some of my new understanding and the clarity that I've gained, I wanted to reach out to. Specifically this person was just really close to me for a big part of my life. They're not related to me by family, but I realized that, in a lot of my times, dealing with real trauma, in my last relationship with my abuser and in the years before then when I was just dealing with a lot of shit, addiction, suicide, that kind of stuff. It wasn't pretty before, but it got way worse once the abuse started. But kind of throughout all of that, suffering, which I had kind of only ever known how to suffer in a way, I was not aware of how my suffering and my own trauma caused others to suffer that cared about me and in some ways traumatized them, right? And I know that probably seems really obvious and I'm a huge asshole for not realizing that, but that is my truth. I was so lost in my own pain and really just lost in general that I couldn't even see beyond what was directly in front of me. I was just in such a feral, primal place. I feel like I scratch my nose a lot when I make these videos. My nose starts to itch. I don't know if that's like a nervous thing or what. But I reached out to this person and I basically just wanted to apologize because they mean a lot to me and I know they've been through their own stuff and I just kind of wanted to take ownership, accountability. And, it took them a while to respond, which is fine. That seems to be how everybody operates these days, myself included. It's not like this immediate response just because you have immediate access to someone, right? So it took them 5 days to respond, and so they responded just last night, and kind of caught me off guard because I hadn't forgotten about it, but I just wasn't really thinking about when they would respond. And, their response in its own way was kind of triggering without going into too much detail, but it was a good response. I mean, they were very receptive and very happy and grateful, we as friends are in a good place, everything's fine, But I think the realization that I kind of came to from this message from them and just my own thought process is in some ways, I know I struggle with the transient, ephemeral nature of life. I always find myself throughout life out of fear trying to anchor myself to something, which is basically impossible because this earth is change, so this life is change. So anything that you're stuck to eventually just will no longer be there. It erodes, it gets destroyed, it changes form, you move away, in any sense, like a home or a toy or a person, it is the only constant in life, change, as cliche as that is. And I, realize how much I struggle with this at my core, and in so many ways it's kept me very powerless in my life because I've always focused so much of my energy externally and trying to control things outside of myself for some sense of stability and security to no avail. And was just really sort of feeling this energy last night, was feeling kind of down about it, honestly, was having not a pity party, but was in a more negative state about it and was just God, why do I feel the exact thought was I feel like everyone exists in my heart, but I exist in no one's heart, just kind of pathetic in a way, and not trying to shame myself, but like I try to look at things now more holistically, and I feel like I was taking it a little bit down a woe is me place, which is fine. I think, within measure, that stuff is totally warranted. So I felt that way last night, and I allowed it to just kind of pass, and felt a little crabby this morning, but was sort of working out of it. I like had messaged another friend and talked about it, had talked to my mother about it. And then I actually ended up seeing a video by another person I follow, and I cannot remember their name, so I'm going to look them up right now because I don't want to like not credit them. Who are they? One second. So this person should be right here, right? Yes, Ann Taylor King. Okay, so she discusses a lot of ascension updates, which is not my thing. I mean, I listen to her for those things about the Schumann resonance, solar flares, the energies that are kind of being thrust upon the planet and how they affect us as humans living on it. And she really, the message she had was a very broad message about, it's getting real now, like the ascension energies. I like the little cat shark tail behind me. That's Evie, by the way. And just kind of reminded me of like the ego, and how the ego, which really has no place in ascension. I mean, ego can exist, but it has to be subjugated to the higher self, I think, instead of the ego being the higher part and, the higher self being disconnected or not at all important, if that makes sense, if you know what I'm talking about. And that the ego will constantly kind of challenge us and bring us back into these places of our ego, and really internalizing everything and seeing everything from a very me-centered perspective, when I think part of what ascension offers and, my spiritual journey has offered me is this more like tapped into this idea of oneness with everyone, and in that way, kind of like in the last video I was talking about, like love is all around you. You're looking for it in a specific form, and then you feel like there is no love, but it's always here. And in a way, in us being all one, when you feel alone, you're really never alone, because we're all part of everything. We all emanate from the creator, so you're never really alone in that way, if again that makes sense. And so it just kind of helped put me in check, because I realized what I was struggling with specifically was feeling alone and feeling like nobody loved me or nobody wanted me, which really wasn't even the message I got from my friend. It was just literally what triggered my ego voice and my negative self-talk, and knowing that that's my cross to bear. She was mentioning for her it was more issues around finance and money and things like that, which is not for me, and that I'm not having that experience, and I'm thankful for that, because I wouldn't want to be dealing with that. But I am dealing with a lot of the sense of like, isolation and where's my one person, or, why hasn't someone picked me, things that I'd kind of alluded to in older videos on my other channel. So it was nice. Like, it was a really appreciated message that just kind of helped me remember, like, oh yeah, this isn't, there's a bigger picture than this. Like, put that in check. It's not always about you, and everything's good. Like, you do have people in your life that love you and that you're connected to, and maybe you don't have like that one singular person. But at the same time, I actually really don't think I want that person in my life. So at this moment, so it's like a weird thing that I feel sad about not having something that when I really ask myself in my truth, I don't even want, so it's kind of like the ego, the self just trying to create drama, problems out of nothing, which she also had mentioned, like trying to get pulled back into these 3-dimensional constructs and not just being present and feeling like, no, everything's too perfect. I've got to create drama, or, for me, it's also like, I got to keep doing. And sometimes you just need to be, and I definitely struggle with that. Right now I'm trying to fight against it in that I would like to be cleaning my house in this little bit of time that I have, but I know that making videos is something that's really good for me, whether anyone watches it or not. So that's what I'm doing. And if I get some cleaning done afterwards, great, but it's not my priority. My priority is me and this and doing these things. So, that's what I am choosing to do. So I really appreciate her message. And if she's someone that may resonate with you, you should check her out. Ann Taylor King is her name, her YouTube channel. And yeah, she talks a lot about ascension and spirituality. She's a very nice lady. I really, really dig her. And the other thing that was really strange was, and this is, I guess, somewhat tangential, was on my YouTube channel, my abuser was on there. I was subscribed to him at one time, but I unsubscribed a long time ago. But from time to time, the videos pop up and I will tell YouTube, not interested, not interested. And for whatever reason, I still get them. And there was this video that came up of his, well, there were two videos actually, and both of them were from the past couple weeks, so recent videos that he had done, I think, with other people. I don't think it was on his channel even. And they had little screenshots of him, right? And I did not recognize him. It was weird. It was I had no idea who the person I was looking at was. In my mind, I was so in love. And I mean, I still love this person in my heart as a human, right? I care about everybody. I love everybody. But it wasn't the same love, lust, passion that I had had for him, that I had fought so hard to keep despite his abuse, that I used to have. And it felt almost like this spell that I was under had been broken. It was kind of scary. When I was looking at him and I was what did I see in this person? I mean, I'm not trying to be ageist, but he was really old looking, and he is old. He's 50, and I'm old. I'm 36, but he's really old. He looks really old now. I don't know if stuff's been happening to him. He's not doing well, or just maybe the pictures were unflattering. I didn't watch the videos. And he looked really bloated and just not attractive, not the person that I was seeing in that time that we were together. And I guess reinforcing, and whenever I would see old pictures of him, which he would always send me pictures of him that were from forever ago, so also promoting this person that he no longer had been for 15 years. He's very much stuck in his own time capsule, and it's sad. It's he's so afraid of aging, and that's the one thing that's gonna happen in life regardless. It's guaranteed. And it's sad to see it happen to him, knowing that he despises that so much, and it's so hard for him. And I feel the opposite about aging. I'm excited to age. I've only gotten better with age. I feel like I'm a fine wine. Yeah, my face is getting more wrinkly and I'm getting older, but I really embrace it. I'm feeling more confident, and I love myself now. I think I'm hot now, with no bangs and no makeup and not trying, whereas for all those years when I was youthful and putting on makeup and wearing the sexy dresses and trying to be objectified and sex appeal, and I'm not knocking anyone that does that because they like to, but for me, it came from a real place of insecurity, and only now as I'm getting older am I tapping into this genuine self-confidence and idea of who I am, true idea of who I am, the authentic me, my higher self. And so I'm really grateful for that. And I guess it was just a really weird thing to see this person that had almost destroyed me and had abused me so terribly, and I clung to so hard, in spite of all that. And now I just couldn't even see for what, what for. And that was just a reminder in a way of the need to not hold on so hard, because sometimes you hold on to things and you really are supposed to let it go. The universe wants you to let it go, because you will see as soon as you let it go within, I mean, for me, it's been less than a year's time. It's been 9 months, what you were holding on to, the real thing you were holding on to. And it's, I mean, for me, I don't generally have regrets in life. I tend to be pretty at peace with everything I've done, or I've made peace with the things I've done. And so, yeah, I feel in that way too, I don't want to go back. I don't want him back. I'm happy. I'm grateful that I let go. And it was just kind of this reminder, I think, even tying back to, where is my person? That's always a thing for me, wanting to find that person, putting so much effort and trying to hold on. And at the end of the day, the only constant in your life is yourself. And so it's important to hold on to yourself, first and foremost. And that's really what I'm trying to do. And I guess I needed that reminder, and maybe you need that reminder, and this will help you as well. So yeah, it was just like a really crazy realization, and I'm glad that I had it. And I feel like maybe there was something else I wanted to say, but it kind of slipped my mind, and I'm not going to force it because, this video is like 15 minutes long anyway. So I'll probably wrap it up here. If I think about something else, maybe I can add it on in a minute, but I probably won't do that because I don't want to put too much effort in these, not because I don't care, but because I just want it to flow. Like, that's what I'm doing. If that doesn't work for people, then it's not all crazy, flashy, professional, whatever. I mean, maybe at some point I'll invest more into it, like I said, for fun, but that's not my end goal. It's not to like necessarily get 40,000 subscribers and have a huge platform. It's really just to get my truth out there for myself, like I've said in other videos, and if it helps other people, great, or if it starts a dialogue, great. So as always, if you do happen to watch this today or at some point in the future and you like what I'm saying, you can subscribe, you can like, you can comment. All of that would be appreciated, sincerely. You can also email me at theroninelliott@gmail.com. I would also take, whatever you have to say that way. Maybe it will inspire more conversations, more thoughts, more videos. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you're having a great day. Be well. Be at peace.